1955 Les Paul Custom, which when I got it needed some work. When I first got hold of it, somebody had put a humbucker in the bridge, so it wasn't the original pickup. It's been either refinished or oversprayed or something. Had a pretty bad fret job, and yeah, I was in a bit of a state when I got it. So, but I managed to get hold of it, did some work to it, took it to Night Guitars, who sorted the frets out and did all that stuff and refilled the gap in here. And then me being me, I screwed the Bigsby on it. It's an old Bigsby part. But, you know, just buying stuff off people around London and around the area, really. I bought that off Gun Cotton. Clem sold me that. Managed to track down original P90 off the player grade guy in Norwich, and just buying stuff up, you know, just to make it better, play more. And yeah, then I got it more up and running how I liked it, really. But the basic guitar was there. I had the staple pickup. It made it more affordable because it wasn't straight. But I had to give away 2 guitars and some money to get it, but it was worth it. I mean, the P90's on the back, so, I mean, cleaner, you know. You hear it there, and then turn up a bit more. It's quite barky, you know, when you turn it up, which is good, so you can sort of, you know, cleaner it. You can get a nice brightness out of it if you want, but if you crank it up, you can go more into, I guess, things that are maybe more Stonesy or even more like Sex Pistols or whatever, you know, more Steve Jones sort of vibe when it's all out. And then the staple pickup on the front. I mean, I heard that, I don't know, other people will know more, but weren't Gibson trying to make more of a hi-fi sort of pickup or something? Something with more definition, I think. And it's a little bit like a Diamond Dynasonic, maybe, in the way it's got a separate magnet for each string and stuff. And interesting, when it's clean, you know, or turned down, it's quite clear and Fendery, really. You know, so get it quite gentle. It's sort of, it's quite a hi-fi sound, but the more you turn it up, it sort of gets a lot thicker. Get a beautiful sort of fat sort of woolliness out of it, you know. I did hear that Gibson only put that in the front because they were too expensive. I don't know if that's true. No. So, and they only put 2 of them in the jazz boxes or something. But it's a really beautiful pickup and quite underrated, I think, because you get a lot of fatness with it, but you get a lot of clear sounds as well. Between the two, I mean, I'll turn the amp down a little bit. You can get a real sort of sweet kind of, quite a sweet sort of chime. You know, you can get a nice sort of, don't know how you describe it, sound, a sort of sweet kind of bluesy tone, really. And then the more you turn it up. The two together, I use a lot of middle pickup sounds, you know. It's one of my favourite sounds anyway, because that's why I like a 2 pickup guitar rather than a 3 pickup one, because of the sound you get between the 2. And with the Bigsby on it, it does change the sound, changes the way it feels. And because I've used that quite a lot, you can get, especially with this guitar, you can get some real sort of sweet sounds out of it. Almost in sort of steel guitar territory, I think, because that pickup makes it a bit more hi-fi. So you get those. So yeah, there's a lot more to a Les Paul than just rocking out, I think. You know, because some of the 50s records, people who used them, like, maybe supposedly Chuck Berry used them on the early records, Mickey Baker, people like that. I can't remember his name, the guy who played in Bill Haley in the Comets. I think the Rock Around the Clock solo is a Black Beauty. And then, you know, I don't know so much about some records in the 60s, but yeah, some people were using them. And I know a lot of guys rave about Paths, and they're cool, but there's something in these, really, which is different. And I've been trying to, I'm probably going to embarrass myself now, I've been trying to play with one of these a bit, and I find you know, I'm still learning. I'm a total novice, but with playing that kind of. It sounds a lot more 50s, you know, it's very... You can get some real sweet sounds. I put flat one strings on it for a while and it sounded really amazing for some stuff, you know. A lot more 50s. A bit more like a bop guitar, you know. So yeah, I love it. There's lots of good sounds in it. This is a 1963 Gibson ES-345 that was refinished black a long time ago. There's a bit of the sunburst still left there, coming through. I bought this early 2005. I saw it just before Christmas in a guitar shop, and I was with my mate and we were saying about, you know, having too many guitars, and then I walked, you know, maybe not buying any more, and I walked in and I saw it and I was just, oh, you know, I've got to try and get this. And bless him, I'll give him a bit of a plug, but Alan Chandler's at the time held the guitar for me until after Christmas, so I could raise the dough, sell the one I had. I had a 64 that was messed about, with beat up, sunburst one, and I managed to move that one and get this, and I've sort of used it on loads of stuff ever since. When I played with the Scream, it was on virtually all their gigs, probably all the gigs. And then I'm using it a lot recently with Matt Johnson. I did the Better Call Saul theme on this. Used it a lot on my own records, tours. And it's been quite often when I've done sessions for other people, if I can only go out the door with one guitar, it's always this one. So I've used it on a mixture of stuff over the years, really. And when I bought it, it didn't have the Bigsby on it, but it had one on originally, so the holes and marks were there. So in Japan, my friend sold me the original custom-made plate that used to cover up the holes, and I bought this down Denmark Street, the old Bigsby in Regent Sounds, I think. And yeah, apart from that, I had to refret it. Well, not me, I got someone to do it. And I replaced the tuners a couple of times. Backing off the bridge pickup, it's just classic sort of clean, clear bridge path sound. Yeah. You turn it up. Both pickups together, that's the sound I did the Better Call Saul thing with, you know. That's what I did with that. Then the neck pickup's super fat, but you can get a sweet, I guess almost like a jazzy tone really if you want it, you know. It's pretty good, pretty heavy pickup that. And it's really good for like, if I clean it up a little bit. In the middle you can get the kind of nice sort of chanking sounds, I guess, you know, like those sort of, like a meters type sound, I suppose, you know. It's nice for all that sort of... these old Bigsby's are nice. The old ones are different. I've heard someone say they're different inside. I don't know what it is, but they have a different feel. And I know you can swap the springs out and stuff, but they don't seem to be as hard to push down. They seem to be more gentle and seem to be able to get a bit more out of them. Easier to be more expressive with and stuff. You know.
And they're paths?
From what I know, one of them is a path and one's a patent number. But someone looked at them recently and basically said they're unsold or broken paths, basically.
Right.
I think the bridge one has the patent applied for sticker on it or something. But I don't think a fat lot had been done to the guitar when I got it. I think it had been painted black a long time ago, at least in the 70s or maybe even before, because it's been used quite a lot. I mean, there's not quite a lot of the paint's gone on the back, you know, and because that's been worn away naturally. It's even worn through past the sunburst there to the wood, so it's obviously been played quite a lot. And normally, it's a good sign if a guitar's been played quite a lot, isn't it? You know.
Do you use the Veritone?
I did, but it's broken now. It had to be taken out.
Oh, right.
It was unfixable, unfortunately. But I did used to use it a lot. First of all, B.B. King using it, you know, or maybe you can hear Freddie King using it on some of his stuff, because there was some amazing settings. I think like number 3 and number 4 were amazing, where you sort of get this kind of sort of cut out sort of sound where you get a lot of bite and treble, but still some heaviness in the bass. And I used to, you know, tend to use a lot of pedals really. Never use pedals for drive really. So just push the amp, and then you could back it off to number 3, and then you could turn it back up for lead bits or something. Because it was notched, it was easier to judge your sound rather than trying to make sure the volume controls are turned down to the same place where you're singing, whatever. But yeah, unfortunately, I had to take it out because a lot of the wiring had frayed and it was really rickety. But I'll see if I can get it going again. But to be honest, taking it out makes the guitar a lot lighter, because there's a massive choke thing that's in between with the Veritone, this big block of metal. So once that's out, it's even lighter. So even with that on, this guitar's really lightweight, which is good. So it's actually easier to throw around than that, you know.